A school once filled with laughter, now only silence remains. The kind of silence that suffocates, the kind that echoes with phantom screams. The camera glides through Hyosun High's abandoned corridors, past shattered classroom windows, broken desks, torn textbooks scattered like forgotten dreams. On a blood-stained wall, barely visible through layers of ash and dust, someone wrote with trembling hands, "We were alive." But were they? Really? Or did survival just become another form of death? A notebook falls to the concrete floor. Pages flutter in the stale, metallic-smelling air. Names written inside. So many names, all crossed out. From the shadows of a forgotten locker, a whisper, broken, desperate, haunting, echoes through the emptiness. Did we really escape the apocalypse, or are we cursed to relive it forever? The voice cracks with emotion, with pain, with the weight of unbearable guilt. Crash. A metal locker slams to the ground with a sound so loud it shatters the silence into 1,000 pieces. The echo ripples through every hallway, every classroom, every memory trapped within these walls. The screen cuts to black. Pure darkness. Then, in blood-red letters that drip like fresh wounds across the screen, "All of us are dead. Season 2, When Silence Screams." The title burns. It stays. It haunts. Welcome back to the story nobody expected to return. Welcome back to the nightmare that refuses to end. 6 months. That's how long it's been since the Hyosun massacre. 6 months since a virus, born in a secret laboratory, created by a twisted scientist named Dr. Lee Byung-chan, tore through a high school and destroyed everything. 6 months since friends died. 6 months since hope turned to ash. But for the survivors, time doesn't heal. Time just makes the memories heavier. Nam On-jo sits in a Seoul University lecture hall, surrounded by hundreds of fresh-faced students, laughing, chatting, living their normal lives. She looks like one of them. She dresses like one of them. She even smiles sometimes. But inside, she's still trapped in that school, still hearing the screams, still feeling the weight of every friend she couldn't save. Every single night, the same nightmare visits her. A rooftop bathed in ghostly moonlight, Cheong-san's hand reaching for hers through the smoke. His eyes, those kind, brave eyes, looking at her one last time before everything goes black. Screams, explosions, silence. She wakes up gasping for air, her heart racing, her clothes drenched in cold sweat. Her roommate has stopped asking if she's okay. One morning, during a lecture on viral mutations, ironically about how viruses evolve and spread, her phone buzzes. An unknown number, no caller ID, just 3 words. "There's someone alive in Hyosun." Her hands shake. The phone slips from her grip. Her breath catches in her throat. Is it a cruel prank, a warning, or the impossible, the unthinkable? Hope? On-jo can't ignore the message. She can't just pretend it doesn't exist. She reaches out to Namra first, the girl who became something other, something impossible. Namra now lives in exile, isolated from the world, wrestling with a curse she never asked for. She's a Hambi, half human, half zombie, stuck between 2 worlds that both terrify her. Every day is a battle. Every moment is a war. She eats only dead animals and decomposing zombies to survive, training herself with inhuman discipline to never, ever succumb to the hunger that claws at her from deep within her DNA. But every single day, the craving grows stronger. The urge intensifies. What if one day she can't hold it back anymore? What if one day she devours the very people she's trying to protect? Surviving isn't the same as living, On-jo, Namra says over a distorted phone call, her voice trembling. Maybe this message is fate. Maybe we're meant to go back. Soo-hyuk joins the conversation, stronger now, but haunted by secrets. Rumors whisper that he's been working with a shadow government organization investigating the Jonas virus, experimenting on infected subjects in underground labs. But he refuses to confirm or deny it. He won't explain. He just says, "Trust me." Then there's Min Jae, a journalist with an obsessive hunger for truth. He claims he wants to make a documentary to inform the world. But Anjo can see it in his eyes. There's something darker, something hidden, something he's not telling them. And Nayeon? She wants redemption. She betrayed her classmates. She hurt them. She caused pain. Now she desperately wants to prove she's changed, that she's more than her mistakes. But can trauma survivors ever truly forgive? Before they even return to Hyo-san, the questions start multiplying in the survivors' minds and in ours. Who sent that message? Is it even real? Why would someone survive in Hyo-san when everything was supposed to be destroyed? What happened to Gui-nam, the psychopathic Hambi antagonist? Could Cheong-san have survived the explosion? Is it even possible? What is the government really doing in those underground facilities? Are there more Hambis hiding in the ruins? Will Namra ever be able to return to being fully human? The team drives back through restricted military zones, past soldiers in full hazmat suits, through checkpoints that seem designed to keep people in rather than out. Everything is ruins. Everything is ash. Everything is haunted by what used to be. Burnt cars line the roads, vehicles abandoned mid-escape, doors still hanging open, personal belongings scattered across pavement like remnants of a life cut short. Faded quarantine posters flap uselessly in the wind. Danger, biological contamination, do not enter. Infected zone, military orders, lethal force authorized, survivors report to nearest checkpoint. The air still carries traces of smoke and decay, a scent that will never fully fade. Min-jae films everything, his camera obsessively documenting every detail, muttering about government cover-ups and conspiracy theories. They're not just covering this up, they're weaponizing it, he whispers to the camera. Inside Hyo-san High School, the ground zero of the outbreak, they find evidence of recent activity. Military ration packages scattered on desks, hazmat suit fragments hanging in the ventilation shafts, strange scientific instruments abandoned in the nurse's office. In the old gymnasium, Anjo discovers her blood-stained notebook. She opens it with trembling hands, scrawled inside in shaky handwriting, perhaps her own, perhaps someone else's. Not everyone returned, some stayed behind. Namra's senses immediately flare, her Hambi instincts kick in, her eyes narrow, her nostrils flare. Someone's been here recently, very recently. I can smell it, she whispers. The realization hits them like a punch to the gut. They're not alone. They break into the main CCTV control room, a dusty chamber filled with outdated monitors and forgotten technology. Dust particles float through dim light, filtering through broken windows. Min-jae powers up the system. Screens flicker to life. They find footage from the past few weeks. Weeks after the outbreak was supposedly contained and destroyed, military personnel in full hazmat suits are shown systematically extracting biological samples from the ground, from the very spots where the heaviest fighting occurred. Scientists, some without proper protective equipment, strange, suspicious, are recording data, taking photographs, examining slides under microscopes. Then, on one screen, a blurry figure moves through the smoke and darkness. Pale skin, scarred face, those eyes, those unmistakable eyes. Anjo gasps, her voice breaks. Cheong-san? But how? How is this possible? They saw him fall. They heard the explosion. They watched as everything burned. Namra leans closer to the monitor, her Hambi senses analyzing every micro-movement in the footage. The virus didn't just kill people, it evolved them. Some became Hambis, like me, but others became something we didn't anticipate, something the doctors don't understand yet. Suddenly, a soldier appears behind them, rifle raised, finger twitching near the trigger. His voice is low, urgent, terrified. You shouldn't be here. Get out now. They're not curing anything. They're creating something worse. Something that could make the first outbreak look like a practice run. As they barricade themselves in a secure room, Namra finally explains what she's learned over the past 6 months. Knowledge gathered from other Hambis she's encountered in hiding. The Jonas virus operates on emotional and psychological principles nobody fully understands. According to Namra, When regular humans get bitten by a regular zombie, they usually transform completely within hours, losing all memory, all emotion, all sense of self. They become mindless, savage creatures driven only by hunger. But Hambies are different. We're infected by other Hambies, not regular zombies, and when that happens, something changes in the virus's programming. The virus can taste our emotions. It feeds on fear, on rage, on desperation. But if you fight it, if you have something strong enough to hold on to, love, determination, unfinished business, then the virus doesn't consume you completely. You stay conscious. You keep your memories. You retain your humanity. But you also get the strength, the speed, the power of a zombie. You become more than human and less than human, all at once. The terrifying part? It depends on what emotion is driving you. If you're driven by love, by protection, like I was when I wanted to save Soo-hyuk and the others, you might be able to control it. You might be able to fight the hunger. But if you're driven by rage, by revenge, by hatred, like Guinam, you become almost unkillable, almost unstoppable, a force of nature that feeds on chaos. Soo-hyuk asks the question everyone's thinking. So what does that make Cheong-san? What was he feeling when he got bitten? Namra pauses. Her eyes are sad, knowing that depends on whether love or rage controls him now. They decode coordinates found on lab walls. The clues point to something called Patient Zero, an original infected person whose blood might hold the key to everything. Min-jae discovers classified research documents. Project Rebirth, attempting to reverse the viral infection. Hambi Protocol, studying how asymptomatic infected can be controlled or weaponized. Viral Mutation Index, tracking how the Jonas virus evolves based on emotional state, brain chemistry, and willpower. One document reveals a chilling truth. The virus doesn't spread randomly. It targets specific emotional profiles. People with strong willpower, leaders, protectors, warriors, are more likely to become Hambies. Regular people with weak emotional anchors, they just become mindless zombies. The military has been categorizing survivors based on their psychological profiles. They're selecting who becomes what. Deep beneath the school, they find a tunnel leading to a secret underground laboratory. The walls are lined with research notes about viral evolution, Hambi anatomy, cellular mutation. Diagrams show how the Jonas virus mutates differently based on willpower, trauma, emotional state at the moment of infection. The temperature drops. The air becomes thick, stale, suffocating. Anjo hears breathing, slow, rhythmic, familiar. From the shadows, like something summoned from a nightmare, Cheong-san emerges. But he's changed. His veins are dark, almost black, visible beneath translucent skin. His eyes glow with an ember-like red. Not the mindless red of a regular zombie, but something more intentional, more aware. His body is scarred, broken, healed in inhuman ways. Yet when he sees Anjo, his expression softens. For a moment, just a moment, she sees the person she loved. He whispers, "I remember you. I remember everything. The school, the running, your laugh, the way you called my name. But I'm not the same person anymore. I'm something else, something the virus created." Anjo's voice breaks. "You're still you. You're still Cheong-san. Without you, we're not whole. None of us can heal without closure." Suddenly, the most nightmare moment, alarms blare throughout the underground complex. Security doors slam shut, cutting off their escape. A pack of mutated zombies, faster, smarter, more vicious than before, surround them from all sides. These aren't regular zombies. These are something new. Hybrid creatures, government experiments, weapons. Cheong-san, torn between monster and memory, between love and rage, makes a choice that echoes with finality. He shields his friends using his Hambi strength, unleashing centuries of potential power against the horde. "Don't mourn me again, Anjo," he says, his voice layer with both human emotion and inhuman echo. "Finish our story. Live for both of us." Namra, in a moment of clarity, decodes final coordinates hidden on the walls, pointing to where patient 0 might be located. Soo-hyuk is suddenly bitten, but nothing happens. He doesn't transform. He doesn't fall. Min-jae reveals a prototype antivirus hidden in his backpack the entire time. He confesses, "I was sent by a shadow organization, not to save you, but to study you. But I can't let you die. I can't watch this happen again." Was he a spy? A conscience-stricken operative? Or something more complex? In a final explosion of fire, fury, and tears, Cheong-san holds the line, sacrificing himself to prevent the virus from spreading beyond the lab. The explosion shakes the earth. Rubble collapses. Screams fade. But a note is found in the ashes. "Onjo, now learn to live." At sunset, the survivors stand on a deserted bridge overlooking the ruins of Hyosan. They're changed forever, scarred physically and psychologically, bonded by trauma that no therapy can heal. Onjo holds her salvaged notebook, the one with "We were alive" written inside. She writes a new entry with shaking hands. "We carry the dead within us, but maybe now, after so much loss, we can try to truly live." Namra looks at her own hands, half human, half monster, wondering if she'll ever be fully accepted by society. She whispers, "The world fears us, but we're the only ones who can stop what's coming next." The sky glows blood orange. A faint whisper, Cheong-san's voice, echoes in the wind, defying death. "We will meet again. Stories like ours never die." A bloody handprint appears on the Hyosan High Gate. In the distance, an ambulance siren wails. Helicopters circle overhead. Something is happening in Seoul. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. Here's what Netflix officially announced, and what they're not telling us. Season 2 officially begins with a time jump. The survivors are now university students in Seoul. Onjo is trying to rebuild her life, make new friends, distance herself from trauma. But she's not alone. She's found new companions at university. Yong Ma-ru, played by Lee Min-jae, a protective senior with military training. So Ju-ran, played by Kim Si-eun, a confident student council leader with secrets. Lee Jong-ah, played by Yoon Gai, an energetic, blunt survivor who already knows how to fight zombies. These new characters have already learned how to survive in a post-outbreak world. They're prepared, they're organized, they're dangerous. But just as the survivors start to heal, a new wave of infection strikes Seoul. Not from Hyosan, from somewhere else, somewhere new. And this time, it's not just mindless zombies. Hambies are organizing. Some want peace, others want revenge. There's a mysterious new threat, Han Du-seok, played by Ro Jae-won, a National Intelligence Service team leader with a sinister agenda. Is he there to save humanity, or to weaponize the Hambies as soldiers? Now here's the exclusive tea about Season 2's production. Original plan. Season 2 was supposed to start filming in 2024 and release in 2025. What actually happened? Production was delayed to 2025, pushing the release to October 2026. Why the delay? Star News reported that the production team wanted to ensure better quality, but there are also whispers of script rewrites, actor scheduling conflicts, and special effects upgrades. The record, All of Us Are Dead, now holds the record for the longest gap between seasons, 4 years total, making it even longer than the delays for Squid Game and Stranger Things. Netflix's silence. Netflix didn't include Season 2 in their 2025 promotional lineup, basically confirming the delay. Expected release date, October 2026. The cast. All the original actors are returning. Park Ji-hoo, Yoon Chan-young, Cho Yi-hyun, Park Solomon, Lee Yu-mi. Behind-the-scenes production quality. In Season 1, the production team used minimal CGI, relying instead on practical effects, makeup, choreography, and realistic cinematography. Actors rehearsed for countless hours with professional dancers to perfect zombie movements. The director insisted on one-take scenes to create authentic chaos. The fan base has exploded with theories on Reddit, YouTube, and fan forums. Cheong-san and Guinam both survived. Both characters disappeared into the flames. Both are likely Hambies. What if they're now leading rival factions, one trying to save humanity, one trying to dominate it? The military becomes the true villain. The soldiers hunting Hambies aren't trying to save people, they're trying to weaponize them as super soldiers. Namra's Hambi blood is the cure. What if extracting Namra's blood is the only way to create a vaccine, but it would kill her in the process? Global pandemic incoming. In the original webtoon, the virus eventually spreads beyond Korea. Season 2 might see it reach Seoul, then Tokyo, then the world. Anjo is secretly infected. Some fans theorize that Anjo was bitten in Season 1 but doesn't know it yet. She might be turning into a Hambi without realizing. Patient Zero is still alive. The original infected person who started everything. Could they be controlling all the Hambies from the shadows? The virus was intentional. What if Dr. Byung-chan didn't create the virus by accident? What if this was all part of a larger government conspiracy? Which theory do you believe? Comment your wildest prediction below. Cheong-san's return debate. Fans are divided. Was bringing back Cheong-san a marketing trick to boost Season 2 hype? Or is there a legitimate plot reason? His actor, Yoon Chan-young, confirmed he's returning in an interview, but Netflix still won't confirm how or why. Park Solomon's cryptic tweet. During Season 2 announcement hype, actor Park Solomon posted, "Some stories are better left buried." Fans immediately speculated, is he unhappy with the script? Does he know something we don't? Is this a hint about Soo-hyuk's fate? Cho Yi-hyun's injury. Leaked photos surfaced online showing Cho Yi-hyun, Namra actress, with visible bruising and bandaging. Rumors spread immediately. Did an on-set stunt go wrong? Is Netflix hiding something? Netflix remained silent, adding fuel to the conspiracy theories. Ro Yoon-seo's secret casting. The new actress's role was kept completely under wraps. Fans are obsessed with figuring out who she's playing. Is she a Hambi? A government agent? Patient Zero? A survivor from another outbreak location? Netflix's total silence. Netflix has released virtually no plot details, character descriptions, or official synopses. This radio silence is unprecedented and has fans speculating wildly. This is the perfect moment to ask your viewers direct questions that make them want to comment. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Cheong-san actually survived? Or is this just fan service? If you had to choose, would you rather become a Hambi like Namra or stay fully human but vulnerable? Who do you think will betray the group in Season 2?